we knew that it would never be a golf course again, we decided that since it was 70% desert and it was a beautiful desert golf course, that it was totally worth saving as a nature preserve.
It's putting out a lot of flowers now, and we got fruit coming, so there'll be more growth in here.
After the golf course closed, for a while it stayed very green, and the fairways still had grass for a while. They tried to keep it going in case a buyer could buy it. Then we gradually noticed that it was turning into more of a Sonoran desert environment, but the animals still remained. It was a wildlife corridor, we noticed, that they'd transit by our place every day or two. Herds of mule deer, little family packs of javelina and coyotes. So it was just like a wildlife TV show, live.
You see bicycle riders, you see walkers, all along the 6 miles of the former cart path. We've spent 2019 organizing, growing our members. We now have 1,850 members of Preserve Vistoso. And then in 2020, we demonstrated to the town that we were pretty serious about this. In March, the property owner filed to rezone almost half of this property with either houses and/or a senior living center in the middle of one area where the driving range was. We, of course, were totally opposed to it. It was COVID time, so we had to do Zoom and emails, and we sent 1,300 emails to the town of Oro Valley. We tested the strength of their Zoom calls with hundreds of people attending, and we went to town council meetings and said, no, 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 you cannot change the zoning to allow all these houses here. It will break off the wildlife corridor, and it will ruin what we know as this beautiful nature preserve. One of our members went and got the Conservation Fund, which is a nationally recognized organization, to come here. And they were so impressed, I think, by what we were doing that they decided to help us.
Once you get the trees in, like over there, then you're going to be okay.
Right.
We wanted to do a survey of the plants and animals here at the preserve. You know, what did it look like when it started off? What were the kind of the ecology of the place when it started off? So we only had about 20 different kinds of plants and animal species, and we now have a patriotic 1,776 observations of 328 species.
We raised the money to purchase this, almost $2 million the community raised to purchase this, to allow the Conservation Fund to purchase this. They purchased it, put it into a nature conservancy, and they closed in February, I believe, on the property and donated it to the town on July 8th. And now we're in the planning stages, and we're so excited about what this can be.
We want people to come here and enjoy the space and learn in the space and meditate and exercise. All of those things where when you leave, it leaves a lasting impression in your heart in that there's no other place like this in our community. And so they want to come back again next time and explore a different area and see how it's changed from the spring to the fall.
Get down to the native soil. Put it on a slope so the rain comes in.
I started taking pictures with my little Nikon camera. They were turning out very, very nicely, especially we had a big saguaro cactus out back that was kind of a focus point for all the wildlife. We'd get pictures of all the birds sitting on the cactus, one of them, a dove nesting in the cactus, screech owl in the cactus, a woodpecker family has had 2 or 3 sets of babies every year we've been here, and we watched them. So that's been kind of a really good experience.
And here's the mesquite tree that's flowering again. You know, some people probably wondered whether it really was that much of a nature preserve. Was it worth preserving? But you can see this is a lot of different kinds of plants and animals that live here. And it really is a valuable thing, and it will get better as as the rest of the old golf course goes back to nature.
If you can't have a golf course, what's the next best thing? And we've grown to love the concept of having a community area where we can walk. So with the bicycles, you can have bicycle riders. The kids cross here to go to school. It's just a wonderful community property.